My intention was always is to helping people. It's not just a position, it's a lot of responsibility. I call myself a father of 1,600 children. People are not fully aware about the institutional charity.
In a world where challenges continue to test humanity, some individuals chose to turn compassion into action. Viewers, welcome to Mumtaz Herbal Product Presents Voice of Excellence. This is Sadid Adnan Wahid, your host for today's show, and today we are going to interview someone who is bringing smiles and hope to a lot of vulnerable communities in Bangladesh. Viewers, without further delay, we are going to start the interview segment of our show right now. Let's welcome our today's special guest, Mr. MD Adnan Hossain, Founder and Executive Director, It's Humanity Foundation. Hello, Bhaiya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us because we all know you have a very busy schedule, but thanks a lot for giving us the slot and letting us interview you in your beautifully decorated office.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
How's life?
It's good. It's going well. It's Ramadan. It's a bit slow, but it's going on. It's good.
So Adnan Bhai, I think we have a very interesting story to tell to our audience. So could you please share about your early life and education?
Sure. I grew up in Saidpur Nilphamari, which is a very small town in the North Bengal, and that is about 300 kilometers away from Dhaka. I've done my schooling and my college there until 12th grade. And then I moved to Dhaka for my higher studies. I started my undergrad from Brack University. I've done my undergrad in marketing. And later on, I've done my two masters, one in the development studies from BIGD, Brack Institute of Governance and Development. And my second master's was in education and school improvement leadership. That was from the IED. The reason I chose from marketing to BIGD, because I started iChef, It's Humanity Foundation, early in my university days, and I wanted to get some professional and academic experience in the development sector, how it works and how it create impact. So that is why I chose BIGD to do my master's, and my second master's specific in education, since I've been working in education from past 16 years.
Wow, that is pretty impressive. And so when you started your educational life, you already had your calling, you knew your calling, like you are gonna do this and you were fixated on that.
But not really, actually. My childhood dream always I want to be a doctor in my life, to be into a medical profession, because I've seen my family member to be in the medical profession, and that was my thing that I always wanted to do. But I'm a very people's person. I love talking to people. I'm being very empathetic with the people. So, and this is why I wanted to go for the medical profession. But then I was very weak in maths. And then I really tried hard to get into the science subject so that I can go for the medical profession. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And then I took commerce, and then I started my education in the business area. In university, when I started, and in Brack, you see a lot of, you get a lot of experience of how Sir Fadl Hasan Abed has created an empire of empathy, kindness, and love to his work. And that inspired me. So as I was a very empathetic person, and I always wanted to help people, so that turned into another profession. So my intention was always is to helping people. The profession was different when I was young, when I was dreaming about my life, but then it turned into as a development professionals. So here I am today, helping people, supporting with all kinds of support that are required. So yeah.
Wow, that is really impressive, and you have my sincere respect for you. But what amazed me is that someone who's as highly qualified and educated as you chose to work with NGOs helping people rather than going to a corporate company, having a lavish life. So tell me about It's Humanity Foundation. Back when you founded it, what was your initial mission and vision?
Okay, so I never thought of building an organization, honestly. So in 2009, this year was my first time to do voluntary work. My interest took me to a very remote village in Kurigram, Ulipur, Gangachora, and all these places of the North Bengal. And for the first time, I really had the experience of meeting people, speaking to them about their life, what their children are doing with their education, with their life. I knew that there's a poverty, but I never had the opportunity to go in someone's house and experience the poverty, seeing like 10 people living in one small room. So during my distribution, I was talking to some of the women there, and then I got to know a lot of children is not going to school, despite we have a lot of NGOs school and the government schools which has a free education. The reason was because they are earning money, and the earning money was 80 taka per week, which is less than $1 in that time. So, and that really surprised me that, for 80 taka, why they are going there. As I said, that I knew that there's a poverty, but I also understood that why the parents send their kids to work instead of school. Because what happened in the rural area, you see the father is the only earning member. Women are not allowed to, like now it has been changed, but I'm talking about like 16 years back. Like women are not allowed to work, so they choose the children as a secondary income, and they send them to work. So, and then that was a very harsh reality that I was really experienced in that time. So I came back, and then I was talking to one of my friends, Niaz, and I was telling him that I really want to do something. And he advised me that, you are young, and then, you don't have enough to get back right now. But I've seen my family from generations to generation doing charity, but that's more like a personal level of charity. But when in terms of the institution level of charity, that's something that's very different. That's more bigger, more impactful, and all this. So he advised me that why don't you start a small community school in your area inside Punilphamari. And back then I was in Dhaka, and then he advised me, you do there because you have people, you have logistic supports, and you know how to do it. So, and then, you are young, and then you are motivated, inspired, and then I started this. So it was a very informal school with only 17 students. I didn't know where it's going actually. So after that, in 6 months, it turned to be a 40 students, and then I decided that why not turning this informal school to a formal school. And then after running a 1 year of formal school, I decided why not an organization. So, when you're young, people appreciate you, you feel like a hero, and you want to do more. You want to extend your hand, support more people. And that actually pushed me to start an organization, which we call It's Humanity Foundation today.
Wow, this sounds like a fairy tale. So back then, were you based in Dhaka and you were running everything
inside Punilphamari?
Wow.
Yeah. So interestingly, my classes were from Sunday to Wednesday. So I had the time Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I used to travel every week Wednesday, with a bus, and it's a 7-hour journey back to Saidpur. Spent 3 days with the children, and coming back on Saturday night to start my university again on Sunday. So my parents were really fed up with me, but then I really had to convince them that I really want to do it. It took time to make them understand why I'm doing this, and now they're very proud of me. So, and Alhamdulillah.
They should be, because amidst all this, you managed to complete your education, get so many degrees, and then finally you managed to take this institution to a much bigger scale.
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
So, how is It's Humanity Foundation doing now?
Okay.
How big are its operations, and what are you working on right now?
Okay. So currently, I mean, as I said, we started with only 17 students in a small veranda inside Nilphamari. Currently, IHF operating in 9 districts of Bangladesh. We have 16 schools with over 1,600 children all over in Bangladesh, with 4 different programs, which is a full-face program. So we have programs like education, women empowerment, which is the livelihood program. We have youth development program, and we have emergency response program. So if I explain about the education program, so this is more like a formal and informal and vocational education that is categorized in 3 different ways. So once the students getting into our classes or in our campuses, they complete their grade 8 and they go for the vocational or technical education. And from there, if they want to continue their education, they're very welcome and we support them. If not, we try to place them in a different job or industry to find a job for them. In the livelihood program, we run a social enterprise called Pratibha. So that's more like supporting the parents of the family, parents of the students that that are coming in our school. And Pratibha is right now one of the organizations in promoting Bangladeshi arts and crafts, not only in Bangladesh, but also in the global capacity. We are providing the professional crafting training, producing the products, commercializing them, and taking into a global scale. Talking about the youth development program, where, as I said, that we have a technical education, which we call Hate Khori program. So 16 to 25 years old young men and women can get the opportunity to go for the vocational education. Currently, we are working with TTI, Bangladesh Army, BASIC, MSS, and other few organizations as a partner. And in the emergency response program, where we work as a first responder, where there is a flood, there's a fire, there's like any disaster. Recently, the fire happened in Khairul slum. We were one of the first responders to working there. We worked for 60 days there, providing the food, medications, housing, shelters, and other things.
In your career, did you face any difficulties or struggles where it seemed like, okay, this is the end, I'm going to give up, maybe there's no further road up?
I can write a novel on this. So basically, yes, of course, working in the development sector in Bangladesh, especially, people are not fully aware about the institutional charity. People tend to be a very personal level of charity, and they give to the madrasa, mosque, or to the people that they know. But institutional level charity is not quite common not only in Bangladesh, but also in South Asia. So, raising fund is one of the crisis. The challenge is always there. Building a team and then rebuilding the team again and the rebuilding. So that's one of the challenges is always there, because you train people go. That's the nature of the job. So that's one of the areas that you struggle. But there's a lot of, apart from all of this, if I talk about the personal level of challenges, I have experienced a lot of stories that really broke my heart. I have seen people crying, holding my hand because they don't have a basic food or water in their houses. I have seen women has been thrown out from their houses and there's nowhere to live or work. So, and I have seen children have been abused sexually, verbally, mentally in different places. So we have this experience, and that's somehow that's one of the challenges, because I'm a very emotional person. I can connect with people, but also that helps me to design a program in a more inclusive and sustainable way so that I can help more people in a more constructive way. So, of course, there are challenges, but there are solutions too. So we always focuses on solutions whenever there is a challenges. But yeah, there's a back and forth always.
What are the biggest challenges that you guys face while fundraising or while having a funding? And are you guys working on any fundraising event right now?
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
There are challenges, certainly. But if you look at the scenario of Bangladesh, now the corporates are more tend to giving. There are a lot of like CSR programs are going on.
Right.
But also there are challenges that reaching to that people. Sometimes corporates are biased because they want to give to like one or two organizations only. They don't look for others just because they are not reaching out. So I think it should be open for everyone, where the small organizations can go, because a lot of young people wants to do a lot of things, but they have challenges because they don't have enough good network to get there. So that's one of the major challenges. And the second challenges is basically the trust issues. So NGO always into under the fire, so they are always been questioned about how they are utilizing their money. There are like a lot of cases that has been a lot of like fraudulent cases and things has been happened. So there are trust issues. So I think the organization needs to be very transparent and very constructive in like creating their reports to make it public and presenting to the to the donors and partners. So that's very important. I think that can minimize a lot of things. And talking about are the ongoing campaigns. So one of our major campaign which we do like the whole year, which is the student sponsorship program, where you can sponsor a child. I mean, through this you can become a sponsor parent and you can sponsor a child for 1500 taka per month or 18,000 taka per year. So if you're starting like a children sponsoring from class 1 until grade 8 or the further education, you can pay monthly 1500 taka, and that's how you can educate someone. The good thing during Ramadan is basically you can use your zakat. This Ramadan you giving zakat of 18,000 taka. Next Ramadan, until next Ramadan, the education will be insured. And the next Ramadan you can again like provide 18,000 taka just to continue their education. Our zakat campaign from its Humanity Foundation has two different categories. One for zakat for food, which is we are providing providing food packages to the marginalized communities. Yes, exactly. And the second one is the livelihood program, where we raise fund for the van, rickshaw, grocery shops, and that's how we give it to the people who are in need, especially to the community that we are working in.
How do you maintain the work-life balance?
It's difficult. When you're an entrepreneur, it's very difficult, but I'm a very family person. Whenever I get time, it's not that I get a lot of time. I have a lot of responsibility, like sitting on my chair as an executive director is not just a position, it's a lot of responsibility. I call myself a father of 1,600 children. Wow. And then we have a team of 130 people are working all over in Bangladesh. So, I mean, I take a lot of responsibility out of my house also, but then I also try to be available at my home with my family as much as possible. In my free time, I love cooking. I don't cook much nowadays. I love singing. I'm a bathroom singer. Wow. But I do like a radio, like this song, that song. I'm not a movie person, but I watch a lot of documentaries. So that gives me a lot of knowledge and my interest in the documentaries.
Very good hobbies, Adnan bhai, and we have a lot of things in common.
Okay, interesting.
It has been a wonderful experience doing this interview or podcast. I would have loved it if we could go on for an hour more, but sadly we have a time limitation. But hopefully we'll get to have a longer chat.
We'll get time for cooking together.
Yeah, sure. I would love to taste that. So Adnan bhai, we are almost near the end of our show. Thank you for having us. Before we leave, there's a small gift from our sponsor.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Would you like to give any advice or guidance to young people who aspire to become someone like you or who want to work in the development sector?
Well, to the young people, be yourself and don't give up. Because the problem with us is basically when things not working, we tend to give up. But anything you do, it takes time to grow, to build up. So take time, have patience, work hard and work smart too, and make sure that what you are dreaming, you are achieving soon. Because for me, what happened, keep your intention very pure. My intention was always pure, and I make sure that whatever the profession I am in, my intention is the same as I dreamed in my early days. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Adnan bhai, for the beautiful piece of advice. I think our audience has a lot to learn from you, and I hope they will be inspired as well to work for people, to give back to the society. Thanks for having us once again, and till next time, viewers, this is Sadid Adnan Wahid from Voice of Excellence. We'll be meeting next week with another Voice of Excellence. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and always try to be excellent.